welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Omoyescorner. Thank you for stopping by today. If you're new to my channel, thank you very much for joining me. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for your support. I appreciate each and every one of you. I don't take it for granted that you chose to stop by. Thank you. So before we go into the topic for today, if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe, like, share, comment, click on the notification bell. And so today I want to talk about some of the comments I've received. I just want to say before I start that I greatly appreciate everyone who's commenting. You guys are some of the most positive people that I have come across. I read my comments and I have a huge smile on my face. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And for those of you who drop suggestions for me, thank you very much. It looks like you guys know what was on my mind. So some of the things that you mentioned, that you suggested, at some of the videos that I, have intention of making. So thank you so much for doing that. I look forward to your comments. I don't take your comments for granted, though. Trust me, I read them when I'm able to. I read each and every one of them, and I appreciate it. So anyway, so one of the people who commented on my video, one of my videos, she wanted me to share suggestions on books that I am reading. So to be honest, I haven't read a lot lately because I've been doing some work, some study, personal study, and I've been prepping for some major tests that I'm working towards. So I haven't really read as much as I usually do, but the last book I read was a great book. It's written, it's a book titled "I Only Want to Get Married Once." It's a very practical book, and it has great suggestions, very practical suggestions about relationships, the expectations, and it kind of outlines the different processes that people go through, from when you meet someone up to however the relationship tend towards. So I personally really enjoyed reading that book. I don't have the name of the author. I just thought about it a few minutes before I started the video, but I wanted to touch on it to address that because one of the people who commented wanted to know. So that's one book that I would recommend. I mean, if you're interested in stuff like that, I I tend to read anything that would help me grow, inspire me or make me a better person or something I can learn from. That's what I usually look for. That's what I try to look forward to. Not try, but that's what I enjoy reading. So that's one book that I will recommend. If anything else comes to mind, I know I've read a few here and there, I would also share that, and I will share the name of the author of this particular book that I'm talking about. Again, it's called "I Only Want to Get Married Once." So that being said, um to touch on the topic that I discussed in my previous video that I posted yesterday, I just want to say, going into this year, I feel like we need some tools going into the coming year. And like I said, the new year has started for me. So I'm already thinking of ways to improve myself and be a better person, be a wholesome person in a much better way. So aside of paying attention, and listening to your inner, to listening and also paying attention to your inner, to that voice, the intuition. Somebody said intuition in my one of the comments that I got. The person said the intuition. Yes, absolutely, the intuition. I feel like a lot of times people have sort of ignored that, and when you ignore that, because we all have intuition, we all do. As long as you're a human being, you have that intuition. It's only silent. You only think it's silent because maybe you haven't trained your ears to listen to it, or you're not used to listening to it. So it keeps talking, but now because your voice is not sensitive to that, it just goes silent on you. So I just want to encourage anyone out there who's wondering, what's she talking about? What does she mean, that voice? What does she mean by intuition or whatever? What I mean is that little voice that tells you, oh no, don't go that way, go in this direction, or no, don't apply for this job or take this, that voice. That's what I'm referring to. It's very important that you groom that. And before any of that, right? Before any of that, I'm gonna really, really speak very heavily on knowing your source. As a human being, you need to know who, you need to connect with your source. For me, speaking for myself, I believe in God. Okay, I believe in God. I have a personal relationship with Him. I'm deeply connected to Him. In Him, I live and move and have my being, right? As the Bible says. So for me, it's very important because an understanding of who God is going to help you understand who you truly are. And it's going to help you fine tune those areas of your life. Now, you don't get your understanding from any man. You can only get your understanding from the manufacturer, right, of your life. If you go to a car, if you go to a BMW store, you're not going to drive to a Mercedes Benz store to go get the parts. You're going to go back to a BMW store. So it's the same thing. So your source as a person is the reason why you're here. It's the reason why you're who you are. So you have to tap into that in order for you to fully embrace who you are and understand who you are. That to me is what is called, that to me represents the ultimate freedom. Because when you have a deep understanding of who God is in your life and who you are and how connected you are to Him, a lot of things will become very clear to you, and you would not need to get unnecessarily affected by what goes on around you. That doesn't mean you're not going to have any human physical, you know, attitude towards it, or you're not going to have a physical reaction, but you will be better able to manage them when they do come. So I'm sharing this to say, because as we go into this year, it's very important that we understand that. A lot of people would say, oh, this new year, I want to go to the gym more. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to lose 40 pounds. All that is good. All that is wonderful, right? We can all lose a few here and there with the whole pandemic. Everybody has gained some weight. But that is good. But the important thing is working on the inside. If you work on the inside, the physical aspect of it becomes much easier to handle. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to be honest with you, the more you work on the inside, you probably will be able to shed some of that weight that you're trying to lose. I'm just saying, I'm not judging anyone. I'm just saying that's just what I think. It's my opinion, right? So anyway, I try not to keep my videos long, as you guys have noticed. I try to keep them short, so I don't, lose the subject of what I'm trying to talk about. So I would leave this here for now, but I will be sure to come back and leave some more tips as we go ahead. And this is all this is all about responding to some of the comments I got. And so this is one of the series we're gonna do. This is one of the tips that I really wanted to share today, that knowing your source, understanding who you are, is the foundation to everything. So when you take the time to do that, you'll be better off all round. Okay. All right, thank you guys for listening once again, and I'll see you guys on my next one. And don't forget, subscribe, like, share, comment, leave your suggestions in the comment section for me, and I'll be happy to read them and do a video if it requires a video. Okay. All right, thank you. Love you guys. Thank you so much. See you on my next one.